Hello family, welcome to my YouTube channel, the hub of constant, consistent value. My name is Moses Biata. If you have not subscribed, click the link and then subscribe to this channel. Get at least 5 of your friends to, come and subscribe to this channel if this channel has been of immense value to you. Today, I will be talking to you guys about the secrets that billionaires know about building a business. And this particular one comes off from a conversation that I was having with a friend of mine in Dubai. And the more the conversation was going on, he was like, bro, what do you think these billionaires do different? What do you think makes them stand out so much that whenever they do business, they end up being like the top of the game? Like, people wake up and by the time we blink, they're billionaires. Like, what are they really doing different about their business? So today I'll be talking to you about secrets that billionaires use in growing and doing their business that makes their business last, that they do not know about. Now, you can tell the maturity of a first-time entrepreneur by looking at what they focus on. So the maturity of an entrepreneur, a first-time entrepreneur, somebody who is trying to do this whole entrepreneurship business thing for the first time, you can tell their maturity by what they focus on. Now, purely this is coming from experience, because I started off somewhere 6 years in. I could tell that what I was focusing on at the start of my journey is not what I'm focusing on now. So I know that you can tell the maturity of an entrepreneur by the start of what they focus on. So for first-time entrepreneurs, one of the things that they focus on is the product. Believe you me, almost every first-time entrepreneur is looking out for what products they are producing, what product they are making, how well they can make sure that the product that they are making goes out there and gets to people. So they are more focused about product, the quality, how it should come out, and by that you can just tell, okay, he's a first-time entrepreneur, because obviously his entire attention is on the product. But believe you me, guys, that is not the ultimate. The product can be good. The product should be good, but that should not be your entire focus. And I'm sure if you carry on and follow through the discourse, you will appreciate the angle and the perspective where I'm coming from. Whereas first-time entrepreneurs are focusing on the product, second-time entrepreneurs, that's to say that people who tried the product route and they did not really get the way they wanted to get it out there, actually focus on something I call distribution. So second-time entrepreneurs focus on what I call distribution. For first-time entrepreneurs, they are focusing on products. For second-time entrepreneurs, they are focusing on distribution. And how do I know? If you take a critical look, somebody can have the best of product but may not have the limited distribution. I can have the second product. So let's assume let's assume that I'm a tailor. I have a friend who is a tailor, and my friend who is a tailor has the second best product but has 1,000 showrooms across the west coast of Africa. So across West Africa, he has 1,000 showrooms. So we're looking showrooms in Nigeria, we're looking showrooms in Togo, we're looking showrooms in Benin, we're looking showrooms in Ghana, like entire West Africa. He has 1,000 showrooms across, yet he produces a second grade product. And me, I produce a first grade product, but I have only one showroom in the hearts of Accra, Ghana. Realistically, if we're being very honest and truthful to ourselves, the guy who has 1,000 showrooms scattered across will actually make more money and will actually impact more people and will transform more lives and will grow at an exponential rate than the guy who has just one product focusing at one location. So for first-time entrepreneurs, they are focusing on the product, which is not to say that do not focus on the product, but most importantly, how does the product move from just being a product to getting to the consumer? That is where distribution comes in, guys. So when it comes to business entrepreneurships and when it comes to doing business, products do not necessarily win business wars. Distribution does. Products do not necessarily win business wars. Distribution does. So for instance, Moses Biata as a product, I have a product that I put out there. Do you understand? So I'm constantly bringing you guys value. And one of the things that came to me very hard this year was the distribution of the quality of the product I have. So no matter what I say, no matter what I share, it can be of a blessing to people. But how do we make sure that the message is getting to thousands and thousands of people? These are some of the things that birthed out the tour this year. These are some of the things that I started pondering over last year that brought about the opening and the starting of my YouTube channel, which has transformed lives tremendously. I received people from Etswani sending me DMs. Just this morning, somebody from Nigeria sent me a DM and said he's been sleeping on my YouTube channel and it has transformed his entire life. So you need to understand that when it comes to business wars, what actually happens is that products do not win business wars. Distribution wins business wars. Now, what do I mean by products do not win business wars, but distribution wins business wars? I'm basically talking about your ability to get to the roots, access to markets. Access to markets of your product is more usually, oftentimes, important than the product itself. So we want to look at whatever product you are bringing out as a business person. Have you thought of the distribution? So usually people come to me, I want to start selling female clothing. I want to start doing this. I want to start doing that. And I always ask them, how would you get clients? How do you get people to subscribe to what you are selling? It's super important. Now, there's a third category of people. I call them the third-time entrepreneurs. Now, these third-time entrepreneurs, they focus on something absolutely different. So first-time entrepreneurs, mind you, first-time entrepreneurs focus on the product. Second-time entrepreneurs focus on distribution. There's a particular class of people in there. I call them the executives. Those third executives or those third class of people in the space who are trying this whole entrepreneurship thing a couple of times, they do not now necessarily focus on product. They do not now necessarily focus on distribution. They focus on the entire value chain of the business. They focus on the entire value chain of the business. What does it mean, value chain, guys? So consider a product and a brand like Zara. Now, Zara is a global player when it comes to the fashion industry globally. Now, one of the things that you get to see with Zara is, remember that I said the third-time executive folks, they focus on owning the entire value chain, which means that they focus from production all through till it gets to the consumer's hands. So you pick a global brand like Zara, and what they do is that 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 people sit down, have a meeting, discuss how they are going to launch a new project, and by the time they are done with the entire meeting, from ideation, so from the entire ideation to execution to distribution, they have the entire process to produce all of that, and they own it completely. That is what third-time entrepreneurs focus on. So they look at how do they control the entire value chain, because then 7 to 8 executives can come and sit down, decide that they are going to wake up tomorrow and make Zara slippers or Zara slides. And when they make Zara slippers and Zara slides, they are going to sell to a particular number of people, and they are going to make this amount of revenue. They are going to sell at this rate. This is what it's going to cost to produce one, and this is what it's going to cost to produce maybe 10 million of those. By the time they are done with the meeting, the entire meeting they had to discuss the ideation knows a channel it flows through, execution starts, and it goes through distribution. So Zara as a global brand actually owns the entire value chain process. So if you're a third-time entrepreneur, or if you're an entrepreneur going at this business thing, one of the things that will make you stand out from the guy who is focusing on product and from the guy who is focusing on both product and distribution is to own the entire value chain. So for instance, if you pick brand MBA as an example, when we come in here and we're looking at things that have to do with the brand, especially when it comes to things around recording and stuff, we do not go out of our comfort zones to pay an extra dime to somebody else to shoot the contents that we bring you guys, because we own the entire process right from production all through till we release it and bring it out on YouTube. And we have entire structures and systems in place that make sure that when we are done, it is processed into various kinds of content for various platforms, and it is being brought to you. But one thing that brand MBA does not do, or one thing that brand MBA does not have, leads me to talking about the fourth category of people. Brand MBA does not own its platform. We do not have our own platform. It leads me to talking to you guys about the fourth category of entrepreneurs. What do they focus on? Guys, the fourth category of entrepreneurs are the billionaires. So we can probably say maybe those who own the value chain, the third category will probably be the millionaires. But the billionaires, guys, I'm talking the guys who have money. I'm talking the guys who have money enough that their generations will show up and they will still have a lot to spend. I'm talking about the guys that when we wake up, they've made $200 billion, and you wonder where in the world did they make that amount of money from? And guys, the interesting thing is that one time I was here with a team, we did a calculation. From the time Jesus showed up on this world, all through till now, if you look at Elon Musk's world, if you give everybody $1,000, we'll still have a lot of money left. Now, if you doubt it, the world is currently 8 billion people. Elon Musk is worth 200 billion. Now, how many times do you think 8 billion will go into 200 billion? It should tell you how much one man's wealth is. But the question is, how do these guys build systems to this place? Guys, the reality on ground is that these billionaires do not focus on product. These billionaires do not focus on distribution. These billionaires do not just focus on owning the value chain. They go an extra mile. What do? They own the platforms. So in owning the platform, what happens? You build what we call an ecosystem. So, case in point, a certain young man called Mark Zuckerberg wakes up and comes up with a platform called Facebook. And he starts it off as a college project. So he moves to various colleges and then assembles his first distribution network, assembles his first community of believers. The more he scales and grows this whole Facebook idea thing, he now begins to make sure that on one platform, I can come on that platform, create content, put out the content, run ads on the content, and get clients on that same platform. Guys, at that point in time, we're not talking just product, we're not just talking distribution, we're not just talking value chain. We are literally looking at an entire ecosystem where one person sits on top of it. That is what fourth-time entrepreneurs focus on. It's just like you wake up and then, when you wake up, you are supposed to drive a car. So let's assume that you wake up today and you drive a Corolla. At the end of the day, if you drive a Corolla, if you look at the guy who owns the roads or the guy who you pay taxes to for driving on the roads, they actually are the bigger players, because whether you drive a Lamborghini Urus, whether you drive a God wagon or a G wagon, as I like to call it, I like to call G wagon the G there for God wagon. So whether you drive a Lamborghini Urus, whether you drive a God wagon, whether you drive a Koenigsegg Agera, I'm sure somebody is wondering, Koenigsegg Agera, is that a car? Yes, there's a car called Koenigsegg Agera. So whether you drive a Koenigsegg Agera, whether you drive a Tesla, whether you drive a Corolla, whether you drive a Mercedes-Benz GLE, you will still use the road. So at the end of the day, the master of the day is the guy who owns the road. He's the one that owns the entire ecosystem. Case in point, we're just, global cryptocurrency adoption is just about 4 to 5%, which means that if you are in crypto or if you are playing in the cryptocurrency space, you are very early. Like, you are very, very early. Global cryptocurrency adoption is just 4 to 5%. What does this mean? It means that for those of us who are in the space and playing in the space, the earlier we understand and show up and man up and build ecosystems and roads for those that will come in and build cars, will make the loads of money. Case in point, there's a young man, beautiful young man, brilliant young man called CZ, and he built what we call Binance. Whether you like it or not, it is the world's biggest exchange as I speak to you today. For a platform like Binance, whether you trade USDT, whether you are starting a project or what, as far as you want to go on the Binance platform, CZ has created the road. Your coin that you have created is the car. You will definitely need CZ's road in order to be able to get your coin out there to people. So what do fourth-time entrepreneurs, or as I call it, the billionaires, people that have enough money that can take care of me and you, our generation, for the next thousands of years, those guys, the billionaires, what do they focus on? They focus on owning ecosystems, owning the platforms, owning the things that engulf product distribution and the entire value chain. So like I said, the moment we know that brand MBA has become a certain phenomenal that is worth celebrating for others is when we wake up and we have a platform that distributes our own videos. We have a platform that others can actually come on and then upload their videos and we get paid for it. Then we know that we are making headway. We know that we are making progress. And so, are you a young person trying to build a business? Are you a young person building a business? What is your focus? Is it the product? Is it the distribution? Is it you owning the entire value chain? Or have you thought out of this world ever to own and control the entire ecosystem? It is super, 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 super important. And so you want to ask yourself these questions. Go back to the drawing board, go back to the vision table, go back to the vision board, and begin to implement the necessary changes. Remember that I said that products do not necessarily win wars, distribution does. If you pick an artist in Ghana like Akwabwa, and you pick an artist in Ghana like Black Sherif, Akwabwa has probably been doing music way before Black Sherif showed up on the scene. But clearly, if we want to look at global reach, who has the more global appeal, we would see Black Sherif's name coming up before Akwabwa. Apart from they being amazing artists and amazing giants in their field, distribution plays a key role. Distribution plays a key role. When Black Sherif puts out a music today, the distribution wings that come in and hold it is very different from the distribution that Akwabwa's music will probably receive. All of these teach us how to do business and to make our world a better place. So I hope that you have found a lot of value with this content. Like, subscribe, share it with a fellow business person who is struggling to do business, so that their path can be lighted with this new information, and so that most importantly, their output into their world can be tremendous and most importantly of significant order. My name is Moses Biata. Subscribe to this channel. Love and light. Cheers, guys.